We're all fans of something. Every single person on the face of the earth at least has that in common. Myself, I'm a wrestling fan. I've always loved going to shows and playing along, cheering the good guys and booing the bad guys. I was lucky enough to see the return of Stone Cold Steve Austin and Rock vs. Hogan 2 at No Way Out in 2003. An acquaintance of mine went back recently and got these screenshots of me at the show. I still remember some moments from that night vividly, despite it happening almost 18 years ago. Here's me calling The Rock a pussy and telling him to get back in the ring. Here's another one of me in deep thought as Ric Flair appears to be having a stroke a mere 5 feet away from me. And then there's this one. I'm not entirely sure why I was staring at Vince McMahon that way, but there it is. Anyway, entertainment is a powerful thing, and the relationship between entertainer and audience is more important now than ever before. Social media has given fans an outlet to reach out to their idol of choice directly. It's an ease of access we've never had before, a direct line to someone whose work we admire. We live in a world where almost everyone carries around little locators masquerading as phones, and if someone really wants to, they can find whoever they want, whenever they want. What happens when that ease of access is abused? What happens when a fan goes too far? What happens when admiration turns into obsession? Gathering intel on flights, staking out baggage, intrusively demanding autographs, that's called stalking. It's not okay. Stop doing it. This is the story of the Shield Stalker. A stalker is usually an isolated and shy person, one who lives alone. They lack any type of important intimate relationship, not just sexual, but friends or family too. They also tend to have narcissistic personality disorder and very low self-esteem. However, the stalker feels as though they're the most important person in the world. Many stalk someone they have only met briefly, someone they don't really know. A stalker may also focus on a celebrity, especially if they've seen him or her in person, at a public appearance, like a concert or a wrestling show. According to the National Center for Victims of Crime, 370,000 men are stalked annually, which comes out to roughly 1 in 45. Women, on the other hand, are far more likely to be the victim of a stalker. More than 1 million women are stalked every year. That's about 1 in every 12. Stalkers write countless letters or emails to their victims, begging for attention. They make repeated phone calls or send gifts. They secretly follow the victim, either by car or in a more insidious way, by getting access to the victim's email. The internet, and more specifically social media, has given stalkers a new tool to work with, a very effective one if the user knows what they are doing. The wrestling audience is split about 70% to 30% in favor of men. Unfortunately, almost every female wrestling fan that I know has had some sort of uncomfortable interaction with another wrestling fan, be it in person or more commonly on social media. Those of you who have watched episode 1 of this series might remember Bubba. Bubba had a very creepy interaction with a man named Victor Muscat. Here is that interaction. Victor begins. I'm jealous. It is extremely uncalled for, but this means people read your tweets and what you have to say. It's better than being ignored. That makes you feel like your opinions don't matter. Your opinion matters. People are reading and responding. Bubba, you're jealous that I was told I should be raped. What? Victor, I'm not saying what was said was right. It was absolutely 100% wrong. But you still got attention, which I wish I had. Bubba, you're very misguided to think you'd rather have that said to you than nothing at all. I don't even want to begin to unpack Victor's statements in that exchange with Bubba, but it should come as no surprise that the man who thinks getting rape threats is better than being ignored was caught in New Hampshire for soliciting prostitution on Craigslist. Police in Keene, New Hampshire say they arrested a Vermont man on a prostitution charge after he posted a graphic ad on Craigslist. Police said 36-year-old Victor Muscat of Newfane, Vermont, is accused of soliciting for prostitution. Police said they responded to his ad online. They said he drove to Keene expecting to meet an adult female, but instead was met by two detectives. Muscat was released on a $5,000 personal recognizance bail until his arraignment, scheduled for January 17, 2014. Now, Victor didn't stalk anyone, but I think he is a tremendous example of what loneliness can make a person do. As we'll see coming up later, the Shield Stalker was no different.
Sierra Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta, Shield.
The Shield was a professional wrestling stable in WWE that consisted of Dean Ambrose, now Jon Moxley in AEW, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. They made their WWE main roster debut at Survivor Series on Sunday, November 18, 2012, where they interfered in the triple threat main event between CM Punk, John Cena, and Ryback for the WWE Championship, allowing Punk to pin Cena and retain the title. In May 2013, at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, all three members of the Shield won a championship, with Ambrose winning the United States Championship, while Rollins and Reigns captured the WWE Tag Team Championships. Rollins and Reigns were Tag Team Champions until October 2013, while Ambrose was United States Champion until May 2014, which was a record reign for the WWE version of the championship. The Shield's fanbase quickly grew after their debut at Survivor Series, and they caught the attention of a man named David Strycharz, aka Jiz McMahon, aka Monty, aka the Shield Stalker. This is David Strycharz, a man from Chicopee, Massachusetts, who has become notorious among wrestling fans in the IWC. David likes wrestling, and he likes meeting his favorite wrestlers over and over and over again. He's been doing it for a very long time. Here's a picture of a teenage Strycharz with Jerry the King Lawler. His Facebook page is littered with nothing but pictures of him with many current WWE superstars. While researching this video, however, I realized that his Facebook page had all the pictures I had seen everywhere else, but no pictures of him with the Shield. Almost like he wanted people to forget. But the internet never forgets. Strycharz would follow WWE superstars from airport to airport in hopes of snagging a picture with them doing his trademark pose, a pose so common it got its own video. David became somewhat of a meme in WWE even before the internet called him the Shield Stalker. Reports started coming in about how he would get aggressive with other fans if he felt they were acting inappropriately. Altercations weren't uncommon, and though nothing ever blew up into full-blown violence, both talent and onlookers admitted that there was a creepy and possessive vibe about Stalkers that made them all very uncomfortable. It's people like David that cause WWE talent to put out messages like this on social media. Your love and support has always been incredibly appreciated. Whether you're a day one or a newbie, I am truly grateful. But when the support crosses the line into obsession, it will not be tolerated, and the appropriate parties will be notified for safety reasons. So please, enjoy the product and what I do on TV. Make your signs and come say hi at my signings, but please, have respect for me and my family. Look at this picture of Seth Rollins. Does this not look like the face of a man who has had enough and just wants the sweet embrace of death to take him to a better place? I rest my case. Now, if the story ended here, I'd think David was just another weird wrestling fan. I'd make a few jokes at his expense and call it a day. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't end here. On January 28th of this year, TB Daily News ran a story on David exposing his sexual harassment online. A woman named Kyla Joy Boltonhouse exposed her DMs with Stalkers. They had become friends on Facebook in December of 2016. By January of 2019, David had been harassing her for 3 straight years. Let's take a look. I'm done. David Stalkers, gonna go hunting to see what type of government assistance I get, which in fact, I get none. No food stamps, no child support, no fucking nothing. Suck my dick, bitch. Please, any one of my friends, feel free to message him. And with this post, she included a lengthy conversation with Stalkers. Stalkers first messaged Kyla on December 2nd, 2016 at 3:35 a.m. Keep that ass looking great. There was no reply. 2 years later, on February 27th, 2018, he tried again. Ugly me. Kyla responds this time. Have we met? Stalkers. No, I just crush on you, and I think you're so beautiful. Kyla. Thank you. Stalkers. You're welcome. I would worship you. Kyla. What do you mean? Stalkers. What do you think I mean? I would do anything. Kyla. Oh, I have a boyfriend. Stalkers. Oh, since when? I thought you were single. Kyla responds, for like 7 months. Stalkers. Oh, okay. I'm jealous, 'cause God, I would worship you. I crush on you so much, I would do anything for one time. Kyla responds, LOL, thanks. Stalkers. I wish we could work something out. At this point, the conversation becomes one-sided as Stalkers continues to message Kyla on and off from February 27th, 2018 until December 31st of the same year. The longer that Kyla ignored him, the more sexually frustrated Stalkers seemed to get. He would send incredibly inappropriate messages and images, such as a woman sitting on a man's face with a request to perform the act from Stalkers. At the end of December, after months of ignoring him, Kyla decided to reply once more. Stalkers begins, Can I ask you a question? Kyla responds, Can I ask you one? Stalkers, Sure. Kyla, Leave me alone. Stalkers, Okay. Sorry I bothered you. I just wanted to ask if you still danced, but no worries. Have a good night. Unfortunately, Stalkers stayed away for 2 weeks, and by January 14th, 2019, he was back in Kyla's DMs. On January 15th, Kyla reminded Strycharz that she had previously asked to be left alone and sent him their interaction from December 31st. Still, Strycharz persisted until January 20th, when he spoke to Kyla for the final time. Strycharz begins. I had a dream about you, beautiful. Kyla. Oh my god, some people just don't get the hint. It's not even a hint, it's pretty blunt actually. Strycharz. Okay then, block me. Kyla. When I say leave me alone 2 times, why you can't not message me without being blocked? Strycharz. Block me. Enjoy your welfare, moochin' ass. Kyla. I don't get welfare, or food stamps, or even fucking child support. Strycharz. I'm sure. Kyla. How you going to get salty because I'm sick of you messaging me? Strycharz. No one is salty. Trust me. Kyla. What do you mean you are sure? I get no government assistance at all, or child support. And you came at me hella salty cause I asked you to leave me alone. Strycharz. Okay. I mean, I can find out what assistance you get. Kyla. Go ahead. Strycharz. Enjoy your night. Kyla. Go hunting, creep. Strycharz is not one to accept rejection gracefully. In fact, each and every time a woman asks him to leave her alone, this is how Strycharz responds. I just want to know why you're such a fake little cowardly cunt. You blocked me over nothing, yet you were the one wanting me to pay you for nudes and shit, and some premium Snap bullshit. The day after the article from TB Daily News came out, the floodgates were open, and dozens of women came forward, all with strikingly similar stories. David would randomly befriend them and immediately start messaging them. He would then somehow obtain their cell phone numbers and begin texting daily, sometimes for years. It got so bad that a website was created in 2008 to catalog all of David's harassment. Here are some examples.
This person continues to harass and text message me every day, even after I've asked them to stop. I don't know how they got my number.
Same with me. He started by emailing my phone in November from jeffmonty07@yahoo.com. Once I figured out that I didn't know him, I asked him to stop. It stopped, but it started up again the past couple days. He finally used his number. I found this page. I have no clue how he got my number, but he's obviously stopped using the phone and is mostly harassing people through email. Hopefully when people Google it, they'll come to this page. This is super scary to see, and I'm totally creeped out.
He sent me a friend request on Facebook and message telling me in detail about his life. Supposedly, he's a production executive for the WWE. He got my phone number from my profile in the 5 minutes I had him added, so I could get a better look at his pic to see if I knew him at all. Come to find out, I was his one and only friend on there. He has texted me incessantly since last Thursday and will not stop. Sends pics of himself or of someone he says is him. 2 of the pics he was shirtless. One pic he had a small mole on the left side of his chest, and in the next it was miraculously gone. When I asked him about it, his response was that he'd had it removed with laser surgery. When I asked him to take a picture of himself at that very moment, he said, "I can't. I dropped my phone in Miami from my hotel balcony. It fell 400 feet to the sidewalk, and the screen is cracked and won't let me take pictures anymore. I put in a request to the company asking for a new phone, but they haven't approved it yet." That was the last red flag I needed. If you dropped your phone 400 feet, I guarantee you it won't work to even text. This guy is real slime, and I hope someday someone gives him exactly what he's got coming to him.
This creep has been doing the same things to me. This was the only source I found on his name and number alike. I'm filing a court order to find out exactly who he is, and so the texts stop. He keeps asking my age, and he knows my first and last name, and also claims that we've talked and that he's been to my home state, which is really far from his. I told him I wasn't who he said I was, and he told me not to play stupid. I'm getting to the bottom of this shit. He's obviously a sexual predator, and I don't put my number on Facebook or anything. This has to stop.
This person has contacted me on numerous occasions despite my request to stop. He/she claims to know me, but I do not know this person. They contact me at all hours of the day or night. I want to know who this person is and how to get them to stop.
Okay, ladies, he's back for more. After months of no contact, thanks to Mr. Number blocking him from my cell phone, I switched phone carriers less than 2 weeks ago, and bingo, got a text at 3 a.m. from him. All it said was my first name. I didn't reply. Today I get a text that says, "Hi." I didn't recognize the number, so I ignored it. He texted a few minutes later and said, "I know you hate me, but wanted to say sorry for what happened a few months ago." I immediately looked up the area code, and it brought me almost straight to this page. This creep just will not relent.
So as of last week, I found out some useful information. This guy started Facebook messaging me on September 22nd. As of September 25th, he'd gotten my number from Facebook and began sending me text messages. They started out very innocent, then became more aggressive, demanding photos of myself, texting at 3 in the morning. I asked him to stop contacting me, stop calling, stop Facebook messaging. He kept saying the reason he messaged so late was because he worked for the WWE. His Facebook showed all of these check-ins, so I thought this man was legit. I finally decided to get a little smarter than him. I contacted WWE directly on September 27th, was sent up to Human Resources, where I explained that one of their employees was harassing me and I wanted it to stop. The guy at WWE works for corporate and contacted me on October 3rd with a follow-up. He had checked into this guy after requesting me to send still images from his Facebook account, emails, and forwarded texts, and he found that no guy named Jeff Monty worked or had ever worked for the WWE. He stated that WWE has contacted this man and proceeded to file formal charges against him for false representation of a company. I'm still in close contact with WWE and will be a witness for them when and if this goes further than formal charges. WWE does not take this lightly. Supposedly, it has been told to this man that he needs to remove all information pertaining to WWE from Facebook. I don't know if he has, simply because this man has been blocked and deleted. Please don't take this guy seriously and continue to follow up on him. He's more than likely a predator.
There's one final case I want to touch on. If true, it's far creepier and illegal than anything else Strycharz has done up until this point. One user alleges that Strycharz messaged girls as young as 13 or 14 years old. He has apparently harassed girls as young as 13, and one user confirmed he was preying on their 14-year-old daughter, so he is a legitimate predator, and maybe we need to get Chris Hansen and TCAP on the line. He goes by various names that have changed over the years: Monty, Jeff Monty, David Monty, and has in the past claimed to be an executive producer for WWE, among other positions there according to several people here. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy, as these user comments kind of mirror some of the rumblings I heard over the years. The harassment, the lying, the delusions, and the predatory actions are the same. When looking through the website dedicated to David's harassment, I came across this message from a user named Kimberly Shaw. It reads as follows: "Messaged my 14-year-old daughter." Something about that first name stuck with me, and then it hit me. If we go back to this screenshot, this is a cropped version of the original. Here's the full version. Let's read that second part. "Look, I'm sorry. I just wanted to know why you freaked out and blocked me on Facebook and Snap for nothing. I genuinely would have given you money if you weren't so rude to me, Kim. I've always liked you and crushed on you. Talk to me, Kim." Kim. Could this Kim and Kimberly Shaw be the same person? Certainly any mother would freak out and block someone like David if they messaged their teenage daughter. Strycharz having access to Kim's Facebook would almost guarantee him access to her family members as well. I want to be very clear here. This is merely speculation on my part. I don't have any definitive proof, but if another user on the website is to be believed, David might be in some very big trouble. A user named Mike replies to Kimberly Shaw: "If you could please contact me privately, confidentiality is assured. regarding this individual, I'd appreciate it. His real name is David Strycharz. Monty is one of his aliases. He's from Chicopee, Massachusetts, and we are assisting in this investigation. He is being investigated by local and state police, also the Federal Bureau of Investigation, whereas some of his harassment crossed state lines, and several of his victims are under the age of consent. One was only 13 when she received sexual texts and images from Strycharz, aka Monty. If you could please contact me, it will be of great importance in putting an end to this person's career of harassing and threatening young girls. Thank you. I sincerely hope these allegations aren't true, but given Strycharz's track record, I wouldn't be surprised if they were. Hopefully Mike had legitimate information and that an investigation either took place or is currently active, looking into the online activities of David Strycharz. So be careful out there in the real world and online, because you never know who might be watching. Thank you guys so much for watching episode 3 of It's Still Real to Them. It's nice to be in color again and using my normal voice. I want to say a big thank you to Lolly, Jada, and Hibana for their fantastic voiceover work. You all did a great job, and I really appreciate your help. Follow them all on Twitter here. If you'd like to support the show and see these videos a day early before everyone else, consider supporting the Patreon. The link will be in the description. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.